Okay, so I'm here with Katherine, David, and Duane, who respectively are actress, editor, actor from this fantastic film, Guitar Man, hard-hitting, if that's the right word to say, drama, feature drama. So welcome to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Feature. Welcome to You're more than welcome.
Right,
Thank you. Lovely to meet you all. So if someone wants to give me this, I've seen the film, but if you can give me the synopsis, please, somebody.
Sure, David.
You want me to go?
Sure.
Okay. The film is Guitar Man. It's based on a book called Don't Shoot.
Which is it's a true story, I think, isn't it?
It's a true story. A musician named Buzzy Martin, who is from Northern California, and basically the story tells the journey that he goes on, being a struggling musician and trying to. What happens is he tries to teach troubled youth music, and through that he finds out that their ambitions are a little misguided. They actually think that the 5-star payoff is to actually get into prison, specifically San Quentin prison in California. So Buzzy sets out he kind of makes it his mission to learn firsthand, kind of become this conduit, right, this bridge between the teaching world and the inmate world, so that he can share that. I'm doing this because Katherine plays the teacher.
No, well, I was going to lead on to say what the roles are, but do carry on.
Yeah. So he's trying to. It's a movie. I think it's very easy to say, well, Guitar Man's about about music.
Yeah.
But really, it's more than that. It's about the meaning of music, what music means in terms of conveying it to communication amongst different people, and realizing that they all share a commonality. They can all kind of, be one through music.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you for that. So Katherine, I know we touched upon it. So you're the teacher, but if you can expand a little bit more on your role in the film.
Sure. Buzzy himself, in his work, he worked with many teachers, and I've met some of them. And my particular role in this script, I felt like was not a teacher that you've maybe seen before on screen.
Yeah.
This is a more a kind of a teacher that has been based on someone who's tired, and a lot of teachers in the United States are tired and underpaid, and
the same in the UK.
Maybe enter for the right reasons, but get a little bit worn out. So that was my take on her.
No, in the UK, I don't know if it's like in the US, but we do have a chronic shortage of teachers, and recruiting them is becoming a bit of a nightmare. And it's the same as in the health service, just people just don't want to do it, Too much grief. And they complain it's underpaid, just really stressful. And sorry, your role?
Yeah, my role is of Ferrell. He's a shot caller, and that's the inmate that runs a game.
I'm just moving away a little bit here. Okay.
He basically keeps order.
Yeah.
And his word goes. He's the sheriff, if you will, of the section in prison. And so when I got the role, I wanted to give him a humanistic quality, not just someone who just committed some vile crime and is just an animal in jail, but to show that he is a human as well.
Yeah.
And show that he has feelings. And so to research that, I went to prison. And he said, how did I go to prison?
Not literally. Caught snoring on a plane. That's what it was. Yeah.
Super.
What do you mean by that?
I went to prison.
Me too.
No, my former job, former law enforcement.
Oh, okay. So you did, right, okay.
Yeah, so I was going into the prisons throughout my career. And I would just take bits and pieces in my research on this guy I had business with, this guy I had business with, and just incorporate it and make that one character.
Right, okay. So did you all, thank you, did you all know Ray Robinson? How did this all come about? Did you know him, or were you brought in for the project? How did it?
I just met Ray once I got hired on the production.
Right, okay. So you went through the traditional process of doing screen tests, or however it was done. You're all shaking your hands, but perhaps yours were a little bit different.
I don't know. You have LinkedIn everywhere, right?
Oh, we do. We don't actually use it for this because it doesn't fit what we do, but I've used it for. I know exactly what it's about. Yeah.
So Ray reached out to me on LinkedIn when actually there was no role that was open at the time.
Oh, right, interesting.
Somehow we connected on LinkedIn and had a conversation on the phone, and I was very impressed with just him as an individual, and we had a chance to just talk about our, ourselves and what we wish to do with film and in our lives, and I thought he was a really cool dude. And anyway, so lots of mutual respect there, and later on the role opened up and he invited me to submit a tape, and then the callback, and then the booking, which was wonderful.
No,
but I really
fantastic,
felt like he was kind of rooting for, I don't know, I just had this feeling like he was kind of in my corner or something,
Right.
to give a chance. And this role, I don't think, I mean, I'm a biracial person, I don't think it was originally thought to be, none of the teachers I actually met were Asian American teachers, but it was cool that the role opened up to me, even though I wasn't.
I mean, yeah, we
Caucasian.
should point out this. It's quite, I don't say a hard-hitting film, but it's a serious thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a rom-com, you know, for instance.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, when you're being pitched for the role, as in Ray, for instance, maybe talking to you about what he expects you to bring to the table, and you're very enthused, I get. Of course you're enthused, because it sounds great. But then you get the script, and I wonder how that dynamic changes once you get it, because of course it's there and it's real, and then you've got to, you know, perhaps adjust what you thought you were going to be doing. I don't know, because I wasn't there, but I guess what I'm trying to drive at is, when you actually got a script in black and white, is it a case of, okay, now shit, it's real, in a nice way, or is it a case of, okay, it's real, but I mean, what happens when you're...
When I first got the shot audition,
Yeah.
and originally I was just a walk-on, just walk past the screen and show strength. And then Ray asked me to do some improvising with another actor, and we improvised, and the role grew, and then the rest is history.
To the benefit of the film.
Fantastic.
It's funny having these two actors here, because they kind of represent the spectrum of the two sides, the educational side and the imprisonment side. Yeah.
And I love it when also, when I meet actors and actresses, and how obviously they're completely different, but they are. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You see, because I don't know, we've never met before, and yet reality is, when you see them on screen, but this is being a fine actor, you've got to do that. You've got to flip it and be that other person, which always amazes me how they do it. You know, one day you're, I don't know, whatever, a murderer in the, I can't remember, but whatever your crime is, and here you are sitting here like a cool dude, you know, and a nice guy. But it surprises me and amazes me how people can just turn it on and on and on like that. And I often wonder how people don't go home. Not going to say you're going to kill your wife or anything, but you know, it's, you've got to flip in and out. Yeah,
you got to go in and out.
I don't know how you can put that in a box, block it away, and then forget about it until the next time, open that box up again and do it. But then that's your profession. It'd be interesting to know, you know, how you sort of accommodate that.
Well, you just study for the role, and you try to bring authenticity to it. And it's sometimes difficult. You bring it home, and you think about it. And like I did, a lot of times I would go home and just read about it and practice in the shower and so forth. And people would laugh at me, but the family.
Well, no, because it's a serious thing. It's a
serious
thing,
thing,
and you've got to be serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess
And
it's a darker, not part of a dark side of humanity that you've got to project.
And I wanted to give authenticity to it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people in prison are portrayed as just animals. And see, I've done almost 25 years of working with those people. And I've seen the good and the bad. I've seen people who I felt should be out, and some should never come out.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring truth to it. So that meant a lot of studying and just looking at some of my old reports and my life experience with various types of criminals.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you say that, because from an editing standpoint, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, there is the read, there's the script, but it's all the facial expressions before the big line that you're going to deliver or after it. And in both your cases, I was searching for that constantly. It's not necessarily what you're saying, it's the side look, or you know, how you hold the cigarette, or
interesting. Yeah.
There's a scene where
so like a nuance to it, I guess.
Yeah, totally. And definitely for this, there were moments where we had 4K or 6K footage, and you know, front and center is the main performance, and off to the side, maybe there's Duane, you know, or someone off to the side, and you realize that's a good performance, and punch in on that.
Amazing.
It's interesting you should say that, because this is exactly what I was talking about before we sat down to interview about the editor's role, because it really fascinates me that you're looking for things that they're not necessarily shooting, and that kind
Absolutely.
Yes.
I've spoken to this before, but if you can explain to us, I don't know if you can explain to us, you'll be given this whole heap of footage. I'm certain you've got a brief, and I'm certain you've been kept in the loop all the way along, but even say you're suddenly presented with this, and you know you've got to put it together. I mean, where does it start? Do you have a working practice kind of thing?
In my particular case, you asked how was I associated on this film. What happened with me was, I think they had a junior editor previous to me. So there was a cut, there was a semblance, I had a script, and just very early on, I remember working with an editor, and he held up the script and he said, David, this is just a blueprint. You know, this is not what you
it's not gospel kind of
It's not gospel, it's not set in stone. So that's the first rule that you kind of have to that's the first assumption that you have to kind of get away from. In a sense, I think it kind of helped that I was brought out on as the second editor on the project, because I could see a perspective on it from the script from the first cut, and then it gave me the freedom to say, okay, well, what if we mixed it? Or, we have high def footage. Maybe we can punch in and get a good reaction shot from someone on the side.
Oh, I see. Yes. So if it was shot in 1080, for instance, where you would zoom in, it's not going to be crisp enough. I guess what you're saying.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So effectively, you're the guy that has to make these decisions, and you might have to say to Ray, I know you're trying to want this shot, but actually we need to cut it here.
Well,
I'm not saying that happened, but
Well, the agreement was, okay, let me take a crack at it, but I'm going to go through this movie methodically. And the tricky thing is that, to a certain extent, you're trying to get an overall sense of how this thing is going to be cut together. But at the same time, there's no two ways about it. You have to work on it individually.
Yeah.
So my agreement with Rocky, the director, and Ray was, if you could just give me some breathing time to do that. And it was great. They did. And I was very thankful. And fortunately, we all came away kind of enjoying the changes that we did. I mean, just little things. It's all there, what was there in the script originally, but the arrangement is different. You know, like if you have maybe turning something into a flashback, and suddenly it just has this different relevance to it, because you can't help but say, this is a flashback, it already happened. There's no change in what happened in the past. You know, just little things like that.
Yeah, and I understand what you mean. And was it fun? I mean, I always think filming, because I know it's grueling and long, because I know that, and I know it takes a long time, but
Oh, we had fun on set.
How do you,
but I want to piggyback on what David said about Rocky and Ray, working with those two guys. It was really a sort of like a family feeling.
Yeah.
Like I have the law enforcement background.
Yeah.
And they were looking for authenticity, as like we said. But I was able to talk with them, and we had a working relationship where I can show them, oh no, that wouldn't happen in prison. This would happen in prison.
Yeah.
That would not happen with guys who, and just give them technical advice.
Yeah.
And it was a relaxing. It wasn't like I was stepping on their toes or they were
collaborative.
It was collaborative all the way. It was just like an ensemble from the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, we did have fun.
No, so I'm sure you're not doing cartwheels around the set, or
Oh yeah, we did.
And what about you, Katherine?
Oh, it was fun. I think, especially for me, working with the classroom and being on this side of the desk, and then being able to see the performances like a play unfold in front of me with the wonderful young actors. They were just fantastic and incredible improvisers.
Yeah.
They had the script and they adhered to the script, but also added so much just naturally energy, electricity to it, which was really, really fun. And then actually a lot of that cast that I worked with were musicians too. I'm a musician as well, and a lot of and John, of course, our amazing lead actor, would be just before a scene started, he would just be in a room off to the side playing guitar, and just hearing that echoing in the halls of this old abandoned school building was just really, really, really fun.
You should have said to
Beautiful.
Ray before the shoot started, look, let's call it Guitar Woman. I'm a musician, right? You can see where this is leading, right? Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I think do that.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you all very much. That's fantastic
Oh, yeah,
fun.
Steve,
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much
Thank
for your
you
time.
so much.
No, honestly, you're more